Did you know there was a football match where the referee, in a moment of sheer boredom, actually scored a goal for one of the teams, causing them to lose? Sounds unbelievable, but it happened. In this video, we will look at those shocking moments when referees turned the game on its head, leaving fans and players stunned. But before we get into the video, did you know Ronaldo once got a yellow card for scoring a goal? Sounds absurd, doesn't it? Well, this and more of that will be explained in this video. Referees have always had the power to influence the outcome of games. While some see them as fair, others believe they act as a hidden 12th player for certain teams, and that was exactly the case in this first match. When we talk about referees burning football, this is one surprising moment in football: Maradona's Hand of God goal in the 1986 World Cup. If there's one referee mistake that's got to be in the Hall of Fame of controversies, it's this one. In the World Cup match between Argentina and England, tensions were high, with both teams trying to get a goal, and then Maradona decided to go for a header, except he doesn't use his head. No, the guy punches the ball into the net. And what does the referee do? Absolutely nothing. He's like, yep, that's a goal. Can you imagine being an England fan at that moment? The outrage was off the charts, and honestly, who can blame them? Maradona just shrugged it off, calling it the Hand of God. This one still gets talked about today, and let's be real, if there was VAR back then, we'd be looking at a very different history book, wouldn't we? Maradona gets away with a literal handball, and we're all left wondering how the ref missed that one. But guess what? In this video, we will still talk about when a ref scored a goal to eliminate an opponent. From one World Cup to another, but this time England is up against Germany in the 2010 World Cup, and it's the knockout stage. They either win or go home. England's down 2-1, but Frank Lampard steps up and smashes a shot that hits the crossbar, bounces down and crosses the line. It crosses the line. Everyone sees it, right? Except for the referee, who waves play on like nothing happened. Seriously, how did they miss that? You could see it from the stands, from the TV, probably even from space. That goal would have tied the game, and who knows how things might have turned out. But instead, England's momentum is completely shattered, and they end up getting knocked out. Absolute heartbreak for England fans, but you could not compare it to what happened to the Ireland fans a year before this in the World Cup qualifiers. It's 2009, and France is battling Ireland in a World Cup qualifier. The stakes couldn't be higher. Whoever wins goes to the World Cup. We're deep into extra time, and it's looking like we're heading for penalties. But then, out of nowhere, Thierry Henry decides to channel his inner Maradona. The ball's coming at him, and instead of controlling it with his chest or foot, Henry casually uses his hand, not just once, but twice, to keep the ball in play. Then he crosses it to a teammate, who scores the goal that sends France to the World Cup. The Irish players are losing their minds, but the referee, he just points to the center circle. Goal stands. You've got to feel for Ireland here. One handball and their World Cup dreams are crushed. And the worst part, Henry admitted it afterwards, but by then it was too late. No VAR, no reversal, just pure heartbreak. The next moment is a very popular one. Remember the Drogba going mad at a referee incident? Well, the referee committed more than 2 errors in a decisive match, which made the whole of London angry. It's 2009, Stamford Bridge is buzzing, and Chelsea is up against Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final. The first leg ended 0-0, so it's all to play for. Chelsea scores early, and the fans are dreaming of a place in the final. But then, everything goes completely off the rails. Throughout the match, Chelsea has not one, not two, but several penalty shots denied. Blatant handballs, fouls in the box, the kind of mistakes that make you wonder if the referees are even watching the same game. The fans are losing it, the players are in the ref's face, but every time, no penalty. And then, in the dying moments, Barcelona scores a last-minute equalizer that sends them through on away goals. Chelsea's dreams are shattered, and the ref, well, he was public enemy number 1 in London that night. It was one of those games where you just couldn't believe what you were seeing. The controversy was so big that it's still talked about today. And let's be honest, if VAR had been around, Chelsea might have had their shot at glory. It's the first game after the COVID-19 lockdown, and everyone's hyped for some Premier League action. Aston Villa is up against Sheffield United, and just before half-time, we get one of the most bizarre moments in football history. Sheffield United takes a free kick, and the ball crosses the line. Like it's not even close. The goalkeeper stumbles back into his net with the ball, but nothing. No whistle and no goal was awarded. The play continues as if nothing happened. Now, this is where it gets really weird. The goal line technology, which is supposed to be foolproof, just doesn't work. The system was obstructed, and for the first time, it failed to detect a goal. The referee's watch never buzzed, so the goal didn't count. Sheffield United's players are in disbelief, and honestly, so is everyone watching. We've got all this tech, and it still managed to mess up at the worst possible moment. The game ended in a draw, and Sheffield United lost out on 2 crucial points that could have changed their season. It was a blunder for the ages, and a stark reminder that even with all the gadgets and gizmos, football is never immune to a good old-fashioned controversy. We've seen referees make bad calls and miss crucial moments, but what if we told you that a referee scored a goal? It sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it happened back in 1986, and it left everyone asking, did that just happen? It's 1986, and Ankara-Gücü is taking on Beşiktaş in the Turkish Super League. The match is intense, with both teams battling it in a tightly contested game. Ankara-Gücü wins a corner, and the ball is whipped into the box. Suddenly, there's a wild scramble, and the ball bounces around before hitting the referee. And it went in as a goal, and you could see the Ankara-Gücü players rejoicing. Now it gets interesting, because the referee didn't call the playback. The goal stood. According to the rules, if the ball hits the referee and ends up in the net, the goal shouldn't count. But in the chaos of the moment, the ref let it slide, and Ankara-Gücü took the lead thanks to a goal scored by the man in charge. This moment became an instant legend in Turkish football and is still talked about to this day. So far, we've seen referees score goals, award penalties that never should have been, and let clear goals slip unnoticed. But what happens when the stakes are sky high and a decision leaves an entire nation fuming? Let's head to a World Cup qualifier where a certain superstar was left throwing his captain's armband to the ground in pure frustration. It's March 2021, and Portugal is locked in a World Cup qualifier against Serbia. The game's been intense, with both sides going back and forth. It's deep into stoppage time, and the score is tied 2-2. Portugal needs that winning goal to take all 3 points, and who else but Cristiano Ronaldo steps up to deliver. Ronaldo breaks free on the right, and as he approaches the goal, he fires a shot that beats the Serbian goalkeeper. The ball crosses the line, like you can see it on every replay, but the Serbian defender makes a last-ditch effort to clear it, but the ball goes in, and the referee decides not to award the goal, and there was no VAR to come to rescue the situation, as VAR was not used in World Cup qualifiers. Ronaldo's frustration will see him get a yellow card, which would make him one of the few players that will get a card for scoring a goal. The match ended in a draw, and the missed goal could have been the difference between automatic qualification and a more difficult path to the World Cup. And there you have it. These are some of the most jaw-dropping referee mistakes in football history. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.